Hey everybody, Justin Delay, Reverb.com. We just got in the brand new IK Multimedia Uno Synth, a true analog synthesizer for 199 bucks. Let's just open the box and see what we got inside. Pretty cool. Feels about like a Volca or a Boutique on first touch. Battery powered, always a plus. Also USB powered, so if you're just chilling with your computer, you can tap into the power there. Looks like it's got MIDI in and out on 1/8" jacks, which means I bet, yep, here we go. Mini jack on this side, full-size DIN on this side. The 5-pin DIN will never die. Also comes with your standard USB cable. Looks like we got ourselves a manual here, yep. Some more paperwork and a pretty cool box, and that's it. Let's jam. Cool, okay, so right away, this is clearly a sequence-based machine. You got this rad row of touch keys to program your sequences, cutoff knob right at the top, so if nothing else, hit play, scroll through the presets, you got the sequences going, and you can instantly start sweeping the cutoff knob. Okay, cool, so I love this sound. First thing I want to figure out is if I can shape the envelopes of this basic preset, so. Fairly basic controls, but if you really think about it, you've got your upfront part of your envelope and you got your end part of the envelope. Feels like a fair compromise here, relatively limited set of controls. Got to switch back and forth between the different modes of the matrix to adjust some of the settings, but overall feels like a pretty good compromise. Let's keep going. Okay, so a little vibrato, touch vibrato action, so you can add a little flavor to your notes. Okay, cool. So here's what I figured out so far. You've got a vibrato, a wah, and a trem set of buttons, which are quick ways to apply the built-in LFO to your pitch, to your filter, and to your amplitude or your volume. That's actually pretty cool. It becomes a little bit more of like a performance technique that you can kind of bring in out. All right, let's check out that LFO real quick. Your LFO has a couple different waveforms, sine waves, squares, etc. Obviously, you got to rate for the speed of it. And then right away within the mod matrix, you can define how much is always going to be going to the pitch for the vibrato and for the filter for your wah style effects. Okay, pretty cool. I think it'd be even more fun to get this synced up with some drums from Ableton Live. To get to your sync settings, I've discovered that you have to push Alt and then the sync button, and then you can see here it'll say internal or USB or external. In this situation, we're going to use USB. We're going to push out of the Alt And I think we're done. So far, we've only been listening to the pre-built sequences, and thanks to the folks at IK Multimedia for programming for us. But half the fun of a sequencer is writing your own sequences, so let's figure out how to do that. Maybe not the most expressive keyboard, no sense of velocity, no sense of aftertouch, but for quickly putting in notes, for quickly writing sequences, actually a pretty cool little interface, something just easy to get your hands on. From there, let's figure out how to record some notes into a sequence. Let me consult the manual. Okay, we figured it out. If you hit the record button, you're in step sequencing mode, which means you can write in the notes one step at a time. The way that you do that is by, you got this little blinking red light here. This is showing you that we're on the first step. As you use the data arrows, you can move around the active step. And when you land on a step that actually has a note, it'll show up there. So in this case, C3. So this is classic step time sequencing. Pretty cool. Now to change a note or to input a note, for instance, we'll go back to this first step here, currently a C3, let's make that a C2. So we're gonna hit the C2 key, and there you go. So you move to the step you want, and then you actually push the note on the little keypad to input the note. Pretty cool. Let's try it. All right, let me hit play over here in Ableton and see what happens. Pretty cool. So let's keep going. What we just saw there, we just discovered, is that in addition to step time programming, you can also, if the sequence is running, hit the record button, and then if you play a note, it will write that to the sequence, quantize to the nearest step, so that when you come back around, you can hear you're playing. Really fun way to create happy accidents, little quirks. Sometimes you can get a little off, but if that's the case, change to a different preset, start over, have fun. What else is cooler than a sequencer? An arpeggiator, of course, which allows you to play repeating patterns of notes by just holding down keys. So let's check that out. I swear to God, I did not mean to do that. Okay, so pretty straightforward, just like a classic arpeggiator. You hold down one, you get one note. You hold down two, you get two. It appears that it's doing some octave jumping around. I wonder if you can hold the arpeggio. My favorite button when it comes to arpeggio is the hold button, so that you can take your hands off and then still get in there and mess around with the sound. Okay, cool. So a couple different arpeggio modes. Surprisingly, actually includes two of my favorite arpeggio modes, something you don't always see, which are random. So just gonna jump around, really cool way to add more life to what can be a static arpeggio line. And what I'm assuming PLY is like as played, which means that it will respect the order of notes in which you play them. So you can actually build some pretty interesting, almost sequence style lines using Arpeggiator with the as played mode. So pretty cool to see that here actually in what is really a quite affordable synthesizer. One really cool feature, it has a delay built into it. So that's the max time. Let's shorten it up. One last cool thing that I just figured out before we go. You can do motion sequencing with the Uno. What does that mean? It means if you hit the record button while it's playing and you sweep the filter, it will record that filter sweep. Okay, in summary, the brand new IK Multimedia Uno Synth, fully analog, $199, the first product from a well-respected, well-established brand moving into the synthesizer space, bringing something pretty fresh and really fun at a really, really great price point. So dive in, check it out, have fun, and find it on Reverb.com.